Tonight's Lightning broadcast at Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders, delivered by Papa John's Pizza. As you see there, James Reimer, first time he's played in back-to-back games this season. This is his numbers he's put up so far, mainly as the backup. Ben Bishop, as you see there, amongst the leaders with 17 wins. John Cooper behind the bench for the Lightning. And on the end, Randy Carlyle, who just picked up his 400th game, I believe, coaching. One of the few times a player, or 700, excuse me, one of the few times you have a player play both 700 games and coach in the league 700 games.
Tim Peel will handle the opening faceoff, working with Kelly Sutherland tonight. Derek Amell, Andy McElman, part of this veteran crew for the last home matchup for the Lightning. In 2014, looking to sweep this homestand, going head-to-head with a team that has given them their only regulation loss in division play so far this year. The Toronto Maple Leafs won 5-2 at the ACC back on November 20th. Tyler Bozak with a pass ahead to Joffrey Lupul. That line we talked about with Phil Kessel. His lead is out of the reach of Bozak. Bozak playing it toward the net, knocked away by Matt Carl. Curl to center, Valtteri Filppula takes on Jake Gardiner one-on-one. Was checked from behind. Lupul fires it back off the boards. And Bishop comes out to beat Kessel to the puck. They collided. And it was fired right in the middle of that Toronto line change as Gardiner shoots it in. Carl over for it, reversing for Anton Strawman. They continue to play together with Jason Garrison on the sideline. The hopes that he can play against Buffalo to start the 4-game trip on New Year's Eve. Andre Palat did not take the skate this morning. They're told body maintenance. Of course, he missed 4 games a little while ago with a lower body injury, and John Cooper said it's a combination of a couple of things, but he would be a game-time decision. And he's in the lineup as they wave off icing. Andre Schuster got it to Palat. Victor Hedman rushes to center. Playing it now to Schuster. The 2 defensemen leading the rush with the Lightning changing up ice. Coming off the bench, Steven Stamkos. Check from behind, but it comes right to Cedric Paquette with a shot, and a blocker save there by Reimer. Paquette with it. Chased by Roman Polak. Chipped to center by Clarkson. Jonathan Drouin back with plenty of energy after missing a game because of a stomach ailment. Cody Franson across for Peter Holland. He'll shoot it in for Toronto. That puck eluded 4 players, and Dion Phaneuf is back for it. Out ahead for Holland. Bishop sweeps that puck behind the net. Brian Boyle picks it up. He'll chip it off the glass by the stick of Brendan Morrow. Franson, as usual, paired with Phaneuf. They'll carry most of the ice time on that Leaf back line.
Pretty good start. Both teams really want to get their A-game going early. And when one team does it, the other team has to follow suit. So we're seeing a pretty quickly played first part of the period.
We haven't seen much of the Leafs, Chief, but it's been said they like to turn games into a track meet, much to maybe the chagrin of Randy Carlyle, who would like to play a little bit more responsible defensively, but nevertheless, they've got the capability of doing that. The Lightning have that speed, too.
Yeah, they do, and the thing of it is that they've got some pretty good finishers on both teams. He's going to be that defensive zone coverage, and that's where Toronto sometimes is a little lax.
Get the whistle on the offside.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's keys, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers, and special teams are going to be important. Power play for Toronto is a very strong one, as is their penalty kill, so the Lightning have to really pay attention on both ends of it, when they have the man advantage and when they don't. Cash in on chances, like I indicated earlier, you'll get a lot of shots with Toronto, but you want to make sure you make good use of them.
Ryan Callahan comes up with the puck, fires toward the net. It's tipped on goal. Reimer a stop, but he covers the puck as it came in front. Alex Killorn driving by the net.
Quick to the puck is important, and that's exactly what the Lightning did. And then just get it on net. You never know what's going to happen. It was deflected by Killorn. He got a second chance at it, even though it was at the side of a net. A lot of times there's a hole there, and they can squeeze through.
Both he and Callahan looked a lot more like themselves the other night against Carolina. Killorn ended a 12-game goalless streak with a winning goal. Here's a shot that's deflected in front, and once again, Killorn providing some traffic. Morgan Riley rushing for the Leafs. Killorn digging for it. It's played in behind the net. Riley will pinch. And the youngster getting to it. Taken away by Callahan, and out comes Valtteri Filppula. He's got Killorn with him. Filppula deals it back to Andre Schuster with the wrist shot. Knocked down. Callahan was screening Reimer, who was fighting to see around Callahan and check out what was going on. Pretty good screen by Callahan as he centers here for Killorn. Double teamed. Callahan slips away with a puck. Angles it back to Hedman. From the angle. Looking for Filppula, and Bozak got his stick in there to break it up. Away comes Kessel. Slows down with the Lightning and the Leafs making changes. Here's a pass for France, and he's met there by Nikita Kucherov. Puck comes around to Phaneuf. Beaten to it by Schuster. Phaneuf getting it back now to Nazem Kadri. Feeding it towards it on the shot. They score! Mike Santorelli came right off the bench, and Kadri found him. And the Leafs have a 1-0 lead.
4:28 is the time of that goal. Lightning giving up that blue line very easily, and then they just make that play. Nobody picked up Santorelli coming in off the right wing side. He was wide open and just gets a really nice shot, and just Ben got a piece of it, not enough of it. It's 1-0 Leafs.
Leafs 15-2 in games in which they scored first, but their second loss in that category came last night against the Florida Panthers. They opened the scoring. Richard Panik, who was later injured, scored that first goal, and they gave up 4 third-period goals to blow a 4-2 lead and lose 6-4. Puck is sent toward the net as Stamkos digging for it. He was set up by Drouin from the corner, and Kadri in for the puck. Out comes Nazem Kadri to center. Will shoot it in from center ice. Bishop out to play it. Radko Gudas as Drouin cutting to center. And on the poke check there by Corbinian Holzer. Santorelli scoring his 8th from Kadri and Phaneuf at 4:28. Carl on with Gudas for the moment. Here's Kucherov. A quick pass to Andre Palatti's double team. Fights through the check, trying to get it back to Johnson. Ends up with Kucherov, and finally David Booth got it loose. Kucherov chasing the play behind the net. Jake Gardiner under check. Peter Holland with it. Off the glass, ahead for David Clarkson. And right there with him was Matt Carl. Shots 5-1 Lightning, but it's a 1-0 Leaf lead. One shot off the stick of Mike Santorelli, signed as a free agent, was with Vancouver last year. Gardner, long lead pass to Clarkson. Matches up with Carl. Booth trying to get to it. Carl gets in there. Palat curling back, couldn't control the puck. He's pressured now by Polak. Clarkson double team. Carl gets it now to his partner, Anton Strawman. Looking for Brett Conley. Morgan Riley didn't know where the puck was. Boyle couldn't pick it up. Holland steps into Conley. Morrow digging along the boards, and away comes Peter Holland. Chipped in by Booth. Long lead pass while the teams are changing. It's off the skates of Conley. And Cody Franson giving it now to Phaneuf. Carter Ashton trying to slip away from Schuster. Steps into the zone. Throws it in behind the net. Daniel Winnick is checked. He gets the puck again. Finds Phaneuf shooting. And it's by the glove of Bishop wide. Killorn steps away to center. Lead pass for Callahan has been active early. He shoots, and it's tipped by Phaneuf out of play with 12:57 to go in the first period. Santorelli has the Leafs on the board first, 1-0.
The Toronto Maple Leafs with the game's first goal lead 1-0 back at the Amalie Arena. The Lightning not home a whole lot in the upcoming schedule. They are playing 12 of the next 16 away from home, including the next 4 after tonight. At Buffalo New Year's Eve, at Pittsburgh on the 2nd, Ottawa the 4th, Montreal the 6th, and then back for Buffalo here at home on January 9th. Guys, that'll be the only home game in the next 7. So a lot of time away from Amalie Arena coming up.
And a lot of Atlantic Division opponents. That's when you can really distance yourself in this division if you start putting again a bunch of wins together against your guys. They're all 4-point games, as they always say, even this early in the season.
Yeah, that visit by the Sabres will be their second of 3 they'll have this season. The Lightning will play on the road 3 times in Montreal. Stroman shooting, saved by Reimer, and it's chipped away by Bozak to center. Pass ahead for Lupul. They were both behind the defense, Lupul and Kessel.
That's why they give up all the shots. If the Lightning were able to keep that play in there, you got 2 forwards way up the red line when they got 5 guys in deep.
Coming late, Stroman got it on goal to save. Here comes Cedric Paquette firing. That's blocked, and he was spilled on the hit by Lupul. Bill Kessel back with Franson. And the pass through to Bozak. Centers in front, they score! Lupul fires it into the open net. The Leafs have opened things up and have put home a couple of goals for a 2-0 lead.
The defensive zone coverage has just been atrocious for the Lightning. They've got guys wide open all the time. You got everybody coming back, nobody picking up the key men. And then there's a wide open play to come back, and Lupul just puts it home at 7:47. So they've had 2 shots, 2 goals. Now, wide open shots as well. None contested goals. Can't have that.
Now, Lupul missed 12 games with a broken hand earlier in the season, so his numbers a little behind where he would expect them to be at 22 goals last year. He's got 9 now. Well, that score that's made it 2-0. Holzer taking down to Kadri. Played in. Schuster back. I'll tell you a little bit about Reimer. And the Lightning hope to test that puck hit the glass. It seemed, however, it looks like we're going to get a call.
Yeah, that went directly right out.
That must have been a stick we heard hit the glass because Schuster's heading off.
Penalty number 62, 2 minutes delay of game.
That's been one of their newest breakout plays, just jump it out. But it's now the first power play will go to Toronto, 7:58 for delay of game.
Lupul from Bozak and Kessel, the scoring play.
Penalty to number 62, Andre Schuster. 2 minutes for delay.
We had a power play chance for the Leafs. Lightning have scored 4 shorthanded goals. The Leafs have allowed 5. They've scored 6 themselves. You would fully expect with a wide open style that they would be able to score in those situations, but the Lightning capable of that as well. Reimer playing 2 in a row because Jonathan Bernier has been bothered by flu-like symptoms. Missed the game last night, flew this morning to meet the team here. Not well enough to play. And so Reimer goes back-to-back after a tough ending last night in South Florida, but the Lightning have yet to get one by him. Here's a shot, a save. Rebound is tapped wide now as Gudas got it away from Bozak. Kessel waiting. They've got Van Riemsdyk in the slot. The shot by Phaneuf doesn't make it through. Paquette blocked it. He'll bring it back. Hedman wants to join him. And he's in the clear. He cuts in. Couldn't handle the pass. Just bounced over his blade as he looked to make his move. He was running out of room. Riley circles back. This is shaping up to be a wild and woolly one here at Amalie Arena tonight. Clarkson down the board. Forced behind the net. Out to Gardner. Lupul's parked in front of Bishop. Gardner now looks that way. Morgan Riley hands it down to Nazem Kadri. That in front, and it's played on goal. A save by Bishop. On the try and tight by Clarkson.
Well, let's take a look at the real big save for Ben Bishop all alone in front. The Lightning's coverage has not really been very solid Toronto's been wide open in most of their opportunities in the 4 shots they've had, but then Lightning very close to getting a good opportunity shorthanded. As you see there, the pass, Victor had to really reach for it and couldn't quite control it.
Kadri tossed out here. Clarkson steps in. 23 seconds to go, and a delay of game penalty to Andre Schuster. On the face-off, the Leafs come up with it. Kadri's pass comes out of the zone, and Riley has to chase back, and that helps the Lightning fill off time on this call. Down 2-0. They've outshot the Leafs 7-4. Now down a man, and nearly through that penalty as Schuster set to return. Puck left now for Clarkson. Schuster back on. Lupul circles with it, shoots, and that was slowed down. It reaches Gardner in the corner, and behind to Kadri. Kadri's pass reaching Morgan Riley. He'll angle it off the end glass. David Clarkson in after it, throwing it back to Lupul. Leafs on the cycle now.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to take a guy out of the play on a cycle. Can't just let him go there. You got to eliminate him so you get the puck, just like Gudas did there.
Here comes Filppula along with Callahan. Filppula hanging on to it, leaving it now for Anton Strawman. He's been active offensively early on in this game. Drouin makes the pass back to Mark Barbarian. Fed in front. A shot off the post by Stamkos. And that has been his fate in these last few games. He's been tattooing a number of goal posts. On pass. Deflects to Stamkos. Trying to slip it in quickly to Kucherov. Holzer. Out of Santorelli. They'll play it down the boards. Bishop there for. Reverse now to Strawman. Kucherov gets it out and into the hands of Drouin. He's got Stamkos with him. 3 Leafs are back. Drouin spilled by David Booth. Roman Polak in for the puck, and we are going to get the whistle. And Tim Peel has a penalty call upcoming here at 11:20. Steven Stamkos nearly getting the Lightning on the board on this one, but he hits the goalpost.
David Booth penalty will put your Lightning on the power play as we bring you back into the first period. Happy New Year, Bolts Nation. 2014 coming to a close this week means a great time to reflect. And if you reflect on the Lightning's 2014, you know it came with a lot of adversity and achievement. And we want to know, what was your favorite Lightning moment of this past year? Use hashtag TBL1. Ben Bishop being named a Vezina Trophy finalist. Hashtag TBL2 for Tyler Johnson and Andre Palat's breakout rookie seasons. Hashtag TBL3 for making the playoffs. Hashtag TBL4 for the off-season additions. Or hashtag TBL5 for other. If you have a different moment than the above, tweet us using that. We may air your tweet in the third period, guys.
Kelly, thanks very much. Lightning on the power play, and Daniel Winnick trying to get something started shorthanded. As we told you, they've scored 6 shorthanded goals, tied for the lead in the NHL. And the Lightning get things set up. Hedman up top with the shot, and he sails it over the net. Callahan trying to get a stick free to get to that puck. Lightning do come up with it. Stamkos with a pass, knocked down by Winnick. And here's Holland trying to break away. He had it swept off his stick by Hedman. Killorn digging for it along with Callahan along the boards, and Stamkos comes out in front, swept back to center by Polak.
One of the things that's kind of unusual, we talk about how Toronto gives up a lot of shots, not solid defensively, but their penalty kill is excellent. It's 10th or 9th in the league on the road and 10th overall.
Hedman around to Stamkos. He's open, fires in front, and it's off Killorn's stick on the redirect attempt that went wide, and Hedman has to back things out at center. Lightning 18.5% now on the power play. For their last 21. The Leafs, as Chief noted, top 10. They're 83.5%. They're one of 4 teams that have both their power play and their penalty killing in the top 10 of the rankings. Palat joining this power play, and it was taken by Conley as he tried to make a move to the front of the net. The puck got away from him. Booth in the box for high sticking, and 25 seconds left to go in his call. Nikita Kucherov stepping in. Matched up with Holzer, the German-born defenseman. He's in for Stefan Robida on their lineup tonight. Palat back out to the point. Here's Johnson at the other point, feeding it in front. Holzer saw that pass coming and tips it up into the crowd with 5 seconds remaining on the Lightning power play. The Back in Black 4-game plan presented by Chase scores you any 4 Saturday home games and a free Ryan Callahan Reebok official player t-shirt. Call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com.
They've had trouble getting the setup inside the offensive zone in this power play. They've gotten in the zone but haven't been able to get set up with it.
Charles circles with it, fires, saved by Reimer. He hangs on just as Booth leaves the box, and the Leafs are back to full strength.
Let's take a look at tonight's GMC big matchup. Is it the last time, or the last 9 meetings here at Amalie Arena between the Leafs and the Lightning? As you see there, Lightning with the 6-3 advantage and wins. The goal's fairly close. The power play a lot better for the Lightning, and the face-off has been a very solid point for them in this matchup as well. So that's our GMC big matchup.
Filppula goes against Bozak, controls the face-off. Carl the shot, handled by Reimer, no rebound. He was sharp early in that game against the Panthers as he faced a lot of pressure. Florida coming out breathing fire, and Roberto Luongo hardly tested in the first period. And the Leafs, as is their habit, really got things going in the second period. But then a collapse in the third. Panthers scored 4 times and won 6-4. Killorn pulls his way in there for the puck. Back to Strowman, quick release. That's blocked. Callahan couldn't get the shot away, and it's taken now by Lupul. Roman Polak trying to join the attack, and Strowman hits him to the boards. Boyle takes the puck for the Lightning. Callahan in the move. He'll test the former St. Louis Blue, Roman Polak. Boyle controls it. On the cycle with Andre Palat. Checked by Bozak. Played for George Gwozdecki at Denver University. Before signing as a free agent, he was undrafted. And as Chief noted, a very unsung player, a terrific player here in a lot of years for the Leafs, Chief.
Boy, I'll tell you what. I mean, here's a guy who's their top, if not our second best face-off guy. He's tied for game-winning goals, tied for power play goals. Gets important goals, and he wins important face-offs.
Gardner on the rush for the Leafs, fires wide, and the puck comes off the stanchion right to Hedman. Tyler Johnson on the move. Has a little room. Darts for it. Shoots. Reimer a save. Rebound tap back to him, and he covers it up. Well, Tyler Johnson testing Reimer there. The 10th shot for the Lightning, but they trail 2-0.
You see the score, Leafs up by 2, 5:13 remaining. Let's take a look at one of the highest rated trios on the ice. Their best plus-minus when the line is on the ice. You see the Predators with the Forsberg, Neal, and Ribeiro line at plus 15. Lightning's triplet line in second place. And the Hawks, Richards, Versteeg, and Kane plus 13. So not only those teams and those lines score for their respective teams, they're pretty responsible defensively as well.
Consider how young those 3 guys are for the Lightning in terms of their experience in the NHL. As Reimer grabs a bouncing puck and decides to hang on, and makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, and you know, when you take a look at it, especially for Kucherov learning how to play defensively in the National Hockey League, that's even more impressive.
Stamkos in his face-off. Kadri pulls it back, and Riemsdyk checked in there by Callahan. Enough with the outlet, and hits Santorelli in the skate boot. Leafs passing has been impressive here in the first 15 minutes, Chief.
Yeah, they've really done a good job of eliminating Lightning players in the offensive zone, not allowing them to really get loose.
Stamkos out to Hedman. His shot tipped. Reimer dives out, covers fires the puck. Lightning are getting some pretty good traffic, especially with the likes of Killorn and Callahan. They're out there now with Stamkos.
Yeah, they're two of the best forwards the Lightning have of getting in front of the goaltender and trying to take away his eyes. And you see right there, both of them coming through there. And then what it does, it brings another Leaf player with them. So you have four guys going in there. And actually, that right by that replay, you can see where it was deflected by Callahan. And Reimer was right there to make the save. Good first period for the Leaf goaltender.
Face-off controlled. Clarkson in there to take that draw. Leafs move it ahead. Holland throws it off the open boards. Radko Gudas over for it. He's got a couple of goals in his career against the Leafs. In fact, scored his first NHL goal in Toronto against the Leafs a couple of years ago. And Gudas registers a nice solid hit on Booth, but we get the whistle and an icing called against Toronto. Bring in the new year at Fox Sports 1 as we bring you a marathon of Big East basketball featuring all 10 teams back-to-back, including a showdown between Butler and 7th-ranked Villanova. The Big East New Year's Eve Marathon begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live at Fox Sports Go. Lightning get it from the draw. Barberio in behind to Conley. And it skips off the stick of Gudas. Clarkson trailing him. Morrow leaving it for Conley. Taken now by Boyle. Loads up, shooting it. A save off the blocker by Reimer. Boyle has it back. Fires it behind Barberio as Morrow tangled up with Gardner well behind the play.
I'll tell you what, they're really playing man-to-man because they're taking out the Lightning consistently behind that net when they don't have the puck.
Gardner checked in there by Boyle. Morrow bumped by Holzer. Boyle has the puck. Quick centering pass and a shot that skimmed off Reimer, taken by Paquette. As Strawman playing it back to the corner. John Cooper juggling some combinations here. We saw Stamkos out with Killorn and Callahan. Now Paquette back with Boyle and Morrow. Here's Carter Ashton. He's got Trevor Smith cutting toward the net, but couldn't get him the puck. Morrow fires it, but right to the stick of Gardner. Trevor Smith in the lineup for Richard Panik, who was shaken up, held out for precautionary measures off a collision with Scotty Upshaw last night. Puck played in by Paquette. Reimer out to play it. Franzen getting it in the hands of Trevor Smith. Played 16 games with the Lightning back in 2011 and 12. Integral part of that Calder Cup team.
Played really well when he came up here. Very responsible in his own zone.
Get the whistle in the offside.
2:33 remaining here in the first. Lightning down by 2. And first two shots they had, they scored. They had two outstanding scoring chances. The other two shots, they had some pretty good opportunities with their man advantage. But other than that, they haven't really had any opportunity to take a chance or a shot on Bishop.
And we've shown you earlier tonight Lupul's career numbers against the Lightning. He now has 24 points in 20 games. And he's been around with the Flyers and Ducks. Briefly with Edmonton. Here's Killorn out of that corner. Throwing it to the boards. Hedman firing, and it's deflected wide. Callahan taken down by Phaneuf. Lightning hang on to that puck. Killorn handing it down to Schuster from the angle. Fires. It's the side of the goal. Lightning have had significant participation by their defense. 6 of their first 9 shots were from D-men in this game. Kessel in behind the Lightning net. Worked free, and Killorn has it. Filppula stepping in, cuts to the middle, coming late. Here's a shot, and it's blocked there as Kucherov came off the bench.
That hit Lupul in the hand. He's going right to the bench in pain.
There's a right hand he broke earlier in the season.
It's his left hand that got hurt there.
Pass ahead for Kucherov, in behind to the fence, corrals the puck, can't finish the move. Kadri getting it ahead to Santorelli. Van Riemsdyk swings wide. And Gudas tipped that puck up into the netting with 1:21 to go here in this first period. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda dealers' first intermission report. Todd Kalas will chat with Victor Hedman. Lightning players will talk about their favorite moments looking back on the year 2014. Highlights and stats. Dave Andreychuk is with us tonight. He'll be on the desk with Todd at the intermission.
13-4 shot totals favoring the Lightning. They've had a couple of pretty good opportunities. Reimer's been very, very good in close.
Stamkos pulled it back to the corner, but Santorelli getting to it. Holzer doesn't have a shooting lane. Here's Gardner in for the point. Controlled by Gudas. One thing you watch the Leafs, Chief, they seem to have a lot of activity from their defense jumping in the attack. And, of course, we mentioned they're the top scoring team in the league at 3 1/3 goals a game.
Yeah, if you can limit their entry and try to disrupt it around the blue line, you get a lot of odd man rushes. But
Gardner shooting, blocked by Boyle.
Lightning really give up their blue line easily. That's going to play right into the hands of the Leafs.
Leafs changing, Lightning changing. Gudas with a drive. He was belted there by Booth. Paid him back for another center ice collision earlier. Clarkson to center, and it's stolen by Killorn, and he's taken down by Holzer. Booth trying to leave that puck. Filppula got in there, taken down by Killorn. Now to Callahan down the wing, fires, and it's tipped away by Phaneuf. Carl got there in time. His play in front is blocked. Franzen with 7 seconds gets it out of the Leaf zone, and it curls back to Bishop. And missed him, hit the side of the goal, and an icing call with 2.6 to play in the period.
Well, the Leafs got to be pretty happy with the way this period ended up for them. They only had 4 shots on goal, 2 of which resulted in goals. And they're going to be happy, Randy Carlyle, on his goaltender. Again, having a very strong start as he did last night in Florida. And going into the second period, as you pointed out, Rick, that's where Toronto really shines. They've got 49 second period goals, which is by far the best in the league.
He made a couple of moves in the offseason to help solidify things. Roman Polak coming from St. Louis. Santorelli, pretty honest player defensively. Peter Horacek added to their staff. I think he's helped implement a more disciplined style is what they're going to. Here's a shot by Kucherov, and it's blocked off that face-off win, and he bangs his stick on the ice. Kucherov thought he had an opportunity. He had enough time for it, but it was blocked by the Leafs, who lead 2-0, though they've been outshot 15-4 in this opening period. Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning broadcast on Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back inside Amalie Arena. 2-0 Leafs after 20 minutes. The new Tampa Bay Lightning app is finally here and available for download. Get breaking news first. Special offers, discounts, seat upgrades, contests, and expand your social interaction with the team. And Bishop leading them out for the second period as the Lightning trailed 2-0, though they had the wide shot advantage of 15-4. They had the last 8 shots, Chief. The Leafs held without a shot since their power play opportunity midway through that period. So, as Victor Hedman told Todd, they just want to keep going with the plan. They feel pretty good about how they play. They're just not getting the results yet. Exactly.
You know what? One of the things is you got to make sure that you pick up those loose men in your defensive zone. But at least they weren't in there that often. But they were in long enough to get those 2 goals. But I think Lightning still have to try and get that deflections or get those screen shots that they've been doing. And they keep firing away. Something's going to give.
Let's have a look at the chase review. And as Dave and Todd were talking about, the opportunity should come from the Leafs. They give up over 34 shots a game on average. And the Lightning well on their way to getting to that level. But they need to take advantage of the opportunities when they get them.
Yeah, they had 25 shots towards the goal. 15 hit the net, 6 missed, 4 were blocked, as opposed to just 11 for the Leafs. So I think that this is kind of the same script that the Leafs went through last night against the Panthers. Had their goalie keep them in line early, but then they kind of faded in the third.
Well, tonight on Fox Sports Live, it's Black Monday in the NFL. 4 coaches are gone or more on the way. Our insider has what you need to know. The regular season's done, so who's the MVP? Randy Moss, Donovan McNabb will tell you who they choose and more. Plus highlights from across the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. All coming up on Fox Sports Live tonight.
Well, this is going to be a very important period for the Lightning, as we pointed out earlier in the first. 49 goals the Leafs have scored in the second frame, which is the most in the league at this point.
Carl gains the red line, sails the puck to the corner. Dion Phaneuf there, and the puck just out of his reach. It bounced past his blade. Now he's pressured by Killorn. Shot by Strowman at the point. Killorn got him on goal. A save by Reimer. Good work there. He was checked, but still got the shot away. Callahan sliding it back around. Now Carl down the boards against Kessel. And he sends it out in front. Comes all the way to center ice. Valtteri Filppula back centering between Callahan and Killorn. Strowman lifting it into the zone, and Filppula's offside.
They've got the Leafs really collapsing down there, but that was amazing play by Killorn. And the puck was bouncing, and just as it hit the ice and was rolling, he got it with the toe of the blade of his stick. He still would manage to get some pretty good steam on it, and Reimer was ready for it. He's been really sharp, Reimer, so far in this game. He's followed the puck well. He's reacted very quickly to the bounces.
Gardner steps into one, breaks his stick as he drives it wide. Reimer giving up 5 goals last night and given up 4 in his previous outing. And that was sandwiched around a Jonathan Bernier shutout against Dallas. But as we mentioned, Bernier is ill. And Reimer being backed up by young Christopher Gibson, a native of Finland, wearing number 35, who was just brought up from the Toronto Marlies. And like we saw with Jeff Zadkoff of Pittsburgh, he got to the game in South Florida during the warm-up. So it's been a lot of emergency recalls for goalies lately, and they all seem to have one thing in common. They're all playing well at the time they're called up. Gibson had won a couple in a row, including a shutout.
Yeah, he's a former draft pick of the LA Kings, but at the time they were really loaded with young goalies.
Here comes Kadri trying to step inside on Drouin, and Drouin played him well. Edmund works against Santorelli, and the puck squirts away to Stamkos. Paquette will slide it down the boards. Morgan Riley, the youngster over there for it. And Riemsdyk, a couple of goals in that 5-2 win over the Lightning November 20th. Kadri shooting, and Schuster tipped that wide. Palat bangs it off the boards. They hand it down to Stamkos, working with Kucherov. Here comes Palat late. Takes the shot. It's blocked at the defense by Holzer. And the Leafs are able to get it behind Barberio. Away comes Clarkson. Gudas there, and the shot missed the net. Clarkson knocked down by Gudas. Gardner looks for a room to fire. Peter Holland on the cycle now. It's Clarkson. They look for Booth down low. Barberio fronted him. Kucherov digs it free. Bounced out of Stamkos. And Palat, with the Lightning changing, swings wide. He sees Boyle coming off the bench. Kucherov trying to catch up, but Holland got a stick in there. And it's fired back to Kucherov. Enters that zone. The pass to Boyle with the shot, and it's just off the leg of Holzer and wide. He's come up with a couple of key blocks here in the last couple of minutes. Palat with a shot. It hit Boyle, chopped away, and Clarkson trying to get it out. Couldn't against Strawman. And Boyle ends up with it, but a hand pass is called as he fires with a whistle blowing.
Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey on Sun Sports is brought to you by Hat-Tricks, proudly serving us Lightning fans for 18 years, and it's only 3 blocks from the arena, so it's a great spot to start off your evening before the game, great spot to end your evening after the game. Hat-Tricks. Terrific shake and bake wings, and there's always a party going on at Hat-Tricks.
Cody Franson out there with Phaneuf. Franson playing 7-12. Phaneuf over 8 minutes in that first period. Leafs get it in. Barberio works there along with Boyle. They'll chip it rink wide. Riley checked by Conley. Boyle slams into his man. That was Carter Ashton, the former Lightning first rounder. Puck sent toward the corner. Bishop stays put. Smith tried to center and ends up with Bishop, and underneath him now we get Boyle and Carter Ashton pushing and shoving. And that gets everyone involved behind the net. And Gudas had pinned his man against the back of the goal.
I'll tell you, the Lightning have really done a good job of keeping them to the others. Crazy bounce off the skate of Winnick, and it bounced over the top of the net, over Ben Bishop's head, and landed right at the base of the crease, or at the base of his feet. So no shot on goal, but it was a scary play nonetheless. Leafs still haven't had a shot on goal yet. We played 3:20 into this period. Very similar to what they had it going in the first period.
They've gone over 13 minutes without a shot on goal. Phaneuf down the boards, and Carl has it. Angles it out for Ryan Callahan. Killorn on the move. Leafs collapse. Bouncing puck. Branson got it loosed. Knocked down, and Killorn sends it off his stick. It ends up over the glass in the first row.
Deflected off of a Leaf player. I believe it'll go deep into the Toronto zone. Give the Lightning a chance to change, as will the Leafs make a quick change as well. Tyler Johnson missed his first shift with Palat and Kucherov. He's out there now.
Yeah, Stamkos took that shift. And Kadri against Johnson on this faceoff. So Cooper going with a hot line on this offensive zone draw. Johnson still tied for first in the NHL with a +24 with Philip Forsberg of Nashville. We showed you Forsberg and his line mates earlier in that first period, how effective they've been together as a group. And what a rookie year Philip Forsberg's had.
Yeah, both ends of the rink. For a long time, he was the plus and minor leader by a large margin, and he was really putting up the points, the highest scoring rookie.
Now the Lightning fill the number, well, tied for first and then second and third slots. Here's a pass to Hedman from the angle, firing, and Holzer with another block, and it ends up out of play.
I think he was waiting to see if another player would drop to the slot before he took the shot. Again, that one extra pass that you don't want to see happen. Watch here. He'll get the pack. Now he's looking around to see if somebody's going to come through the slot. Nobody did, and he had a bad angle shot, and Holzer did a nice job of blocking it even at that bad angle.
Holzer's been kind of the guy in and out of their lineup through the last couple of years. He's been in the organization for several seasons, but hasn't been able to make it as a regular. We mentioned he steps in for Stefan Robida, the veteran in this back-to-back situation tonight. He's got the puck. Holzer is passed out of the reach of Holland, taken now by Booth, and he collides with Gudas. They've had several meetings in this game. Jake Gardner with the wrist shot through a crowd, and it skims just wide. Now it's Gudas. Playing it back to Stamkos. Gudas has it once again. Barberio. His pass blocked by Holland. Gudas feeding it now to Paquette. Backhand feed, and it bounces to Drouin. Walking in, shoots, glove by Reimer. He'll hang on. One of the best scoring chances for the Lightning in this game. Jonathan Drouin testing Reimer.
Boy, good thing. Taking the shot, I mean, it ended up with a 2-on-1, but he had no chance to get that pass across to Stamkos and trying to get it high to the far side. Quick release, too. Watch that just there, and then Reimer just well out there. He's really under control right now. Even after having a pretty bad third period and losing that game in Florida, you think he might be a little shaky, but that hasn't been the case for him tonight.
Couple of those goals went through him last night, and then he had trouble with screens on a couple of others. So we got a penalty upcoming here against Lupul. It was Slashing and high-sticking Carl. Will eventually see what the call will be, unless the Lightning score in this delayed penalty situation. Filppula with a pass to Callahan. Callahan fires in front for Strawman, dealing it across, and Riley gets a stick on it. We get the call for a slash.
I thought you had to have control of the puck. Why the quick whistle? I thought you deflect a pass or a goalie makes a save.
Penalty, number 19, 2 minutes for slashing.
What? There's the slash coming. There's the slash right there on the hands and coming up. The puck stick came up and got him. Lightning had one power play in the first. Weren't able to get a shot on goal. Really had trouble getting any kind of sustained pressure in that Toronto zone.
So we had a power play opportunity for the Lightning, and Filppula getting it back to Hedman. Critical on many fronts this chance. With Killorn and Callahan in the slot. High shot is knocked down as Stamkos gets it. Back to Callahan, and his pass is out of Killorn's reach. Peter Holland takes his time, goes to the forehand, and he'll slide it back down the ice. Lightning need to get on the board in this game. Great opportunity to do so. Change the momentum a bit and end their slump in the power play, at least to get some confidence going. Phaneuf has it. Now is Polak riding Killorn out of there. The pass across for Santorelli with the shot, and he sends it over the net. Rather, Daniel Winnick on the handoff at center. Callahan steps in, handle it a room. Leans it on Polak. Dealing it now to Filppula. Keeps it moving to Hedman. Stamkos. Stevens scoring against his hometown team in that 5-2 loss in November. Hedman around to Stamkos, driving it. Reimer the save. They score! Callahan bats it into the rebound. And the Lightning do cash in the power play. And Callahan gets his 150th career goal.
6:37, and boy, that has broken a long schneid for Ryan Callahan. In the month of December, hasn't picked up a goal, and boy, they never come at a great time. They finally move it, they get the puck. Stammer's first shot, the rebound right there. Callahan, they had two guys there, Killorn as well as Callahan. The rebound, he had great position on Cody Franson, and he just pops it in. That's great eye-hand coordination right there. And the Lightning on the board on the power play.
We've gone 13 without a goal, and gets one in a critical spot here. Lightning on the comeback trail. Strawman lugs it to center. He'll push it ahead to Kucherov, and the play now reaching the corner as Johnson bumps in there with Gardner. Kucherov has the puck. Now Johnson walks in front. Backhand try testing Reimer. Comes right backside of the goal. And Johnson wins the puck. Popped it out in front. Blocked by Gardner. Now he's got Kucherov to deal with. Johnson trying to come up with it. Corbinian Holzer there for the puck. And he'll just flip it out of trouble. Carl going to keep it away from Kessel. Hedman gets the second assist. Stamkos the primary. On the goal by Callahan is 12. Puck tapped away by Holzer at center. Lightning have a 21-4 shot advantage. Leafs still without a shot. As Cunningham is Conley fires, and it's blocked by Riley. He knew he had to get the shot away quickly. And Riley still got in there. Gudas the drive, and a save there by Reimer. Comes out to Barberio. His shot knocked down. Puck loose in the slot. Chopped at by Boyle. Kept in the zone. Once again, the Lightning get it down low. This time to Conley. Puts a nice move on Riley. Back to Gudas with the shot. Stopped by Reimer. Covers it up with traffic around the net. Morrow gets a shot from Reimer with a stick. Everybody gets involved. Lightning coming on as they get one behind Reimer and continue to follow up with more pressure. The goal by Callahan has made it 2-1.
Lightning out shooting the Maple Leafs 23-4. Finally able to get their first tally. Ryan Callahan making it a 2-1 game in favor of Toronto. Now, the Maple Leafs are in the midst of a 5-game road trip in 7 days. They played last night against the Florida Panthers. Obviously, tonight here at Amalie Arena. New Year's Eve in Boston, at Minnesota on the 2nd, at Winnipeg on the 3rd. A lot of games in a short amount of time for a team that's played a bunch early at their home arena, guys.
That's right, Todd, as they are starting, actually they're well into a stretch of playing 26 out of 38 games on the road. So Lightning trying to go right back on the attack. They've got the first 8 shots of the second period. Leafs haven't had a shot on goal in 18 and a half minutes. Winnick's pass taken over by Drouin. Ashton has it. And Drouin bumping with him. Ashton muscled his way to get the puck in behind the Lightning net. Bishop getting it out for Paquette. Stamkos on the move. Gudas joins the attack. Leafs close in. He's dropped. Polak has the puck. Polak out to center. Bishop will play it. Leads it too far for Paquette. Enough holding it in. And Barberio back to the Lightning. Bouncing it by Roman Polak's stick. Derek Amell indicates we'll have an icing call.
Well, I'll tell you, nice play by Bishop. He just couldn't get the right bounce off that board because he had almost 4 Leafs caught. Had that bounce pass hit his intended receiver. And the Lightning would have had about a 2, if not 3-on-1 rush the other way. But everybody went to the boards and left the middle of the ice open for him to try it.
Paquette, very proficient in the circle, won that draw, but now it's in the hands of Bozak, and it's whacked away on goal. On the try by Lupo, that shot hit the post as Gardner let it go, and Drouin has it. Leads it out for Cedric Paquette. Gardner the man to beat. Here comes Barberio, backhand try, and it skims off Reimer. Holzer takes it. He's checked from behind, nearly surrendered the puck to Callahan. Gardner ahead for Phil Kessel. In the zone with Lupo. On the wing, flying through, shooting short side. A glove save by Bishop. Schuster goes down behind the net. The puck reaching Alex Killorn. Getting it now to Filppula. Hits the line with Callahan. Swings in. Coming late, Hedman. Walks in. Fire, scores! Lightning have tied it at 2.
9:46 the time. Hedman had just come off the bench. That's his first goal since he got back from that hand injury, but a great play by Callahan. But look at this, wide open. Everybody was down low. Hedman walked in and again, but really gives a lot of goalies trouble, and that looked like it bounced off Filppula's skate even as it was going in. But being that shooter on his wrong wing, in other words, he was a left-handed shot on the right wing, which opened up that net quite well for him. And I think it might end up being Filppula's goal because it looked like it caromed off of his leg or skate.
We'll wait for the call on that one as Boots circling back. Plays it in the Lightning zone. Bishop quickly out to play it to Schuster. And back for Victor Hedman. Enough from the blue line. And behind to Clarkson. Now back for Holland. Trying to lose Hedman. Peter Holland, former Duck first-round pick. So's Gardner. They've made quite a collection of Duck first-rounders. Here comes Johnson, 3-on-2. Blocked with the shot. Blocked by Franson. Johnson has it. Schuster. No shooting angle. Tries to get one by Phaneuf, who blocked it. And it was swept away in time for David Booth. 3-man rush for Toronto. Booth from the angle. Forced behind the net. Good play by Stralman. Filppula's 7th. Hedman and Callahan get the assists. At 9:46. Conley into the zone on a quick stop. Lightning changing, and they find Boyle stepping into the action. Holland found him as well. Roman Polak will sail it into his own bench. Christopher Gibson had a chance for his first NHL save over there. He didn't make it. Hedman shot off Filppula. Lightning tie it.
It's time now to take a look at our H.H. Gregg high-def highlight. And this is how the Lightning gained that zone before that goal. You see Hedman coming right in here, coming off the bench. That left-handed shot on the right wing opens up that far side. And now watch this slow motion come here. It'll go here right to the front and watch it hit right off of the skate, the inside skate of Filppula, and past James Reimer for the tying goal. Filppula's 7th. And that's our H.H. Gregg high-def highlight.
Filppula looks on as Boyle's line out there, at least 2/3 of it. With Morrow and the captain, Steven Stamkos. Stamkos has showed up at a number of combinations tonight. Morgan Rielly out for Kadri. He'll play it into the zone, and right there, Santorelli bouncing puck, couldn't control it, got it on goal, and a save by Bishop. Santorelli has been very good at arriving just in time to get a pass toward the net. That one he couldn't control. Here's a shot that's blocked in front by Boyle.
Yeah, coming into the night, Rick, Steven Stamkos played with 9 different forwards.
Here's Morrow in for Stamkos. Shooting just wide. The pass eventually reached him. Not as early as he had hoped. And he was just able to reach it and hook it. Boyle steals the outlet. Third man high. Stamkos goes down. Knocked down now by Polak. And Boyle gets the puck back again. Checked by Gardner. Boyle with his size and strength still controlling that puck. Working with Stamkos. Out to the point. Strawman quick release. Saved by Reimer. He punched it away and the puck gets out to center. 24-6. The shot advantage for the Lightning. Kadri had to hold up with the Leafs changing. But they still might have been offside as he entered the zone. They were still over there at the door, which is inside the blue line. Enough behind the net. Puck taken over by Strawman. Lupul backhands it out. Carl using the boards, playing it back, and Callahan pressuring Franson. Callahan a goal and an assist, and he's been very active all over the ice in this one. And the puck coming back to Killorn. Works against Lupul. Killorn chipping it back for Callahan. He's manned up there with Phaneuf. On his backhand, finds Filppula. Back to Hedman. Nice move with the shot. Sliding block made there by Joffrey Lupul. And a big man with soft hands. Victor Hedman able to handle that pass. Filppula cuts in. Goes backhand. Save Reimer. Rebound knocked in the air by Phaneuf and out to center.
I'll tell you what, they are all over Toronto right now. They haven't even got a chance to breathe. Look at that presence. He's been out there for so long, he can't get back to get the puck.
Johnson chased off the puck. Bozak with the outlet. And the Lightning stationed right at that blue line, either with a defenseman or that third forward, Chief. They've been able to pick everything off. Bozak. Booth. Save Bishop. Booth on the rebound. Bishop a stop, and the third try went wide. Ball out at center. Getting it behind Holzer. Taken over by Gardner. Firing it back to Holland. Wide open action. Booth. Centers, and it's off Barberio's stick. Clarkson's been along the boards. Barberio involved. Johnson getting it free. Trying to speed around Gardner. Gardner takes him down. Penalty upcoming. And the Leafs will be penalized for a hold right here. Ben Bishop, a couple of big stops. The Lightning will try to back him up and take the lead with a power play.
We're tied at 2. Lightning will get a chance with the power plays. You see Jake Gardner in the box for holding. Happened as they were racing for the puck. You see him trying to keep him away, and he just had that one arm hooked around Tyler Johnson in the midsection to keep him from bursting past him. And that caught him 2 minutes in the penalty box. Lightning with their third power play. They're 1 for 2.
Faceoff controlled by Filppula. Now as Killorn has it, Callahan parked in front. He's battling there with Phaneuf. Two veterans who have met many times before. Filppula. Now to Steven Stamkos. Hedman had it bobble. Bozak with it. Hedman gets it back.
Unfortunate.
Here comes Filppula. Now to Stamkos. Out to Hedman. Bozak on him. Filppula hangs on to it. Stamkos fires. Saved by Reimer, who barely got to the post enough to make that stop. That might have caught the inside of his blocker. As he didn't really move, he just kind of leaned over.
It almost looked like it got by him, but he was able to get a piece of his equipment on it somehow.
Filppula now. And the pass taken over by Bozak. He's got a couple of shorthanded goals among their 6. Joined now by Winnick, who takes it in the skates. And the Lightning get the puck back. Hedman hurried there by Daniel Winnick, the veteran penalty killer. Stamkos steaming down the wing. Leans it on Holzer, who got the puck away. And it's knocked free. The race on. Strawman coming off the bench. Couldn't make a play. Franzen clears it. 45 left on the penalty. Bishop giving it now to Kucherov. Lightning with a 28-9 shot advantage. We're tied at 2. They trailed 2-0 coming into the period. They rebounded with goals by Callahan on the power play and Filppula. Kucherov winding, fires back across, and a shot by Johnson missed the mark. He doesn't miss that very often. And away comes Van Riemsdyk in a 2-on-1 with Holland. Holland on the backhand, saved by Bishop, and he made a rebound stop as well on Van Riemsdyk. Short-handed. Conley slams on the brakes. Reinforcements not quite there yet. Pass around to Schuster. With the shot, turned aside by Reimer. Out of the box comes Gardner. Leafs survive this short-handed situation. And Holland getting it ahead to Gardner. On the attack with Kadri, and a pass is blocked. Carl reaching in there, and he ends up with the puck.
The Lightning survived their power play. It was more like it. They had 2 great scoring chances at least with that man advantage.
Callahan reaching back for the puck. Boyle pressuring Riley. Morrow storms in there. Nazem Kadri has it. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Kept it in the zone by Carl. Well, the Lightning have unlocked the secret and staying in that zone here and forcing some mistakes. The pass, though, in the skates of Paquette. Kadri works against Brendan Morrow. Riley back around for Santorelli. One-time 20-goal man in his first year with the Florida Panthers. Paquette leads changing. Long way to go. Paquette able to stride in and shoot. A save off the blocker by Reimer. Cody Franson getting to it, and he's pummeled into the boards by Paquette. Barberio to Stamkos. Waits. Plays onside now, and he's wedged off by Franson. Franson leading it for Trevor Smith. Taken away by Druin. Nice steal there. Stamkos fires. Saved by Reimer. Franson chipping it over the head of Barberio. We'll get an icing called against the Leafs.
Well, there's been a couple of pretty good chances. Leafs haven't had a whole lot of activity in the Lightning zone, but this one right there, oh man, Johnson just missed that side, but they broke away on another odd man rush, short-handed. And Ben Bishop had to come up with 2 saves right there. They got away with it. Could have been another trip. They could have had another guy and been 2 men short. But boy, they had 2 really good shots short-handed against the Lightning.
Under 2 minutes to go. In a high-paced, high-octane second period, the Lightning with 2 goals to tie this game up. Franson trying to get it out, and that's been the story of this period. The Leafs just haven't had so much trouble getting out of their own end. Now Carter Ashton from the corner fires in front, blocked by Hedman. Ashton got it back. He's stopped by Bishop on the wraparound. Carter Ashton still has it. Here's a shot handled by Bishop, and he makes the save there. Kessel held off the board. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda Dealers second intermission report. Todd Callis visits with centerman Valtteri Filppula, scoring off that deflection. Todd and Dave Andreychuk will take you around the league. As we mentioned early on, everybody in the Atlantic Division playing except for the Florida Panthers. Highlights and stats coming up. In fact, I think Columbus is the only other Eastern team not in action tonight. So busy night in the Eastern Conference. 1:27 to go here in the second. Bozak wins the draw. Bolzer waiting for traffic. Shoots. Bishop a stop. Rebound in front. Kessel had it tapped away by Strawman. Dion Phaneuf with a shot. Missed the net. Comes back to the point. Bolzer keeping it in momentarily. Strawman getting it out. Lupul, who had one of the first period goals, playing it now ahead for Bozak. Pried loose by Carl, former teammate at the University of Denver. Under a minute to go in the period. Back and forth. The puck pinballs from one team to another as Palat dumps it in. Phaneuf. His pass not a good one. Drouin stepped off the bench and steals. Paquette driving the net. As Drouin circles the net. Couple of magical moves there, and all of a sudden he's open. He finds a man at the side of the goal. And it was Stamkos who shoveled it on goal, and a save by Reimer. That would have certainly made the highlights. Here is Stamkos. By the center, it's blocked by Phaneuf, kicked by Barberio. Leafs get it out with 16 seconds to go. Barberio chops at that puck. Bolzer contains it. We can see now as Drouin in the closing 6 seconds. Victor Hedman very calm, cool, and collected talking with Todd Kalas. And as Dave Andreychuk said, just stick with the plan. And the Leafs eventually coughed up some pucks. The Lightning found the back of the net on goals by Callahan and Filppula. And all of a sudden we got a new hockey game. The Lightning out shooting Toronto 17-10 in the second period. 32-14 for the game. Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey on Sun Sports is brought to you by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. For great deals on new Hondas, go to gchondadealers.com. By Steak and Shake. By Kaiser University. And by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by the Tampa Bay Area BMW Centers. Welcome back to Amalie Arena. Lightning set for a third period that they hope matches their second period, where they scored both goals. They outshot the Leafs by the margin of 17-10, outchanced them 10-5, Chief, and they really seemed to solve hemming in the Leafs in that second period.
They were very quick to the puck. I think, a little bit in that first period, they were kind of backing off a little bit, but they really protected the blue line. Every time the Leafs tried to make a play outside their own zone, Lightning defense stayed up there, took the puck away, really forced them to play a lot longer in their zone than they really wanted to. In fact, there's a couple of times that Cody Franson got cut out there. He could hardly move. He was so out there for so long. So a lot of good forechecking, a lot of good puck retrieval, and that'll really ham a team in, and I'd like to see that happen again here in the third.
Lightning have played a lot of their best hockey in the third period. They'll hope to do it again as we look at the Chase review on the first 40 minutes.
You can see the big difference. Scoring chances, surprisingly, a number of really good chances for the Leafs with just so few shots, and they got a couple of really good ones in that period, short-handed, when the Lightning were really pressing to score. And you see the face-off circle is pretty even here so far after 40 minutes.
Callahan and Filppula, the Lightning goals, both off traffic in front of the net. Well, in this day in hockey history, December 29th, 1998, Vinny Lecavalier scored his first game-winning goal. Lightning beat the Islanders at what was then known as the Ice Palace, now Amalie Arena. That greatest moment in hockey history brought to you by Geico.
Game ended up in the shutout as well. Those are the days when you were able to beat the Islanders. They have trouble beating them lately.
Ben Bishop getting a little equipment adjustment over near the bench, and that's the delay as Tyler Johnson looks to get this period started with Palat and Kucherov. And they go against a very effective Leafs second line, if you will, centered by Nazem Kadri. Kadri setting up a goal by Santorelli, his right winger, that opened the scoring in this game. Schuster. Here comes Hedman, who's been a big factor all night. Swings in against Franson. Plays it back, and there's a shot by Palat that's over the net.
That's what you like to see Victor do. He's such a good skater. He can get that puck in the zone for you, get it out of trouble.
Kucherov, and his pass forced back through center by Franson. Van Riemsdyk racing for the puck, gets to it, and Schuster lifted it off his stick. Hedman, it was Chief noted initially we thought that was his goal. He scored a goal in each of the first 3 games of the season, and soon after got hurt. Missed 18 games with that broken finger and hadn't scored since. Lightning coming up with a puck at Strawman. In for Killorn. Callahan stationed in front of the net, and Reimer had the stick down. Somehow he followed it. He makes a save here on the try by Strawman, and it's just dribbled away.
Callahan got a piece of it, deflected it off his arm.
And the outlet knocked down by Strawman. Killorn backing up the play. Callahan has it. We saw Callahan and Killorn very much involved against Carolina, and they've carried that over, Chief. They're finding their way around that net again.
Yeah, talking with Alex Killorn today, he was saying he felt really good out there, really strong. And he's really been hard on the puck, and he's been using that size and strength in front of the net as well.
Clarkson leaving into the corner now for Holland. Holland fires in front. Dudas got his stick in there. Tipped it off the glass as Clarkson bangs into Paquette. Dudas had it taken away by Holland. Spins it back out to the point. Now it's Jake Gardiner with a wrist shot saved by Bishop as he slid across. Booth was trying to deflect it. Now Dudas is injured. Has dropped his stick and gloves, and he is able to get on his skates and get over to the bench, and will be attended to by head athletic trainer Tom Mulligan, as well as assistant athletic trainer Mike Boyer. He appears to be cut on the neck.
I think what happened, the skate came up and got him, and you can see right there the heel of the skate, and that's why referee Timmy Peel was so nervous about it. He blew the whistle right away, and he skated right over to the bench to make sure that he was okay, but that's why it looked like the skate comes right up. You see it right there and cuts him. Boy, that's really scary. You do not want to see that happen, especially around the neck.
You can see a much relieved Radko Gudas sitting on the bench as if he's going right back into action. We'll see. Daniel Winnick forced wide of the goal by Boyle. Works the puck out ahead for Conley. Steps in against Gardiner. Down he goes. Got it to Morrow. Morrow fires it out in front, out of the reach of Schuster. Leafs play it ahead, and Victor Hedman a couple of times. It looks like he's been beaten, but he ends up winning the puck.
Yeah, he has, and thank goodness it's happened, because he doesn't get it. They're off to the races. I think he's done a really good job of getting that puck back when they've lost it.
They've been very assertive all over the ice tonight, especially as this game's gone along. Holzer knocked down by Kucherov. Puck is up for grabs, and Kadri has it. Boy, it seems like every puck's up for grabs in that lead zone. The pass ahead for Santorelli. Takes on Carl and shoots, and Bishop makes the save. Bishop beaten on the first 2 shots he's faced, and he's held off the Leafs ever since. They've got a total of 15 shots. He could have read a book for a long stretch. Here's the pass across for Kucherov, and Kadri got it loose. They went about 19 and a half minutes without a shot. Santorelli still matched up against Carl, his opposite number. Van Riemsdyk leaving it for Mike Santorelli. Feeds the point. Polak takes the shot off the end boards, trying to create something for Bozak. Johnson hooks it ahead, and Kucherov will race after it, coming out James Reimer to play it away. Right to Van Riemsdyk. Gudas is back in action. He's out there with Barberio, his usual partner. Callahan cuts in behind the defense. Saved by Reimer as he just lifted the puck. And Reimer appeared to get his left arm on the shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Callahan, when he breaks off that ring and cuts in, he has a great knack of controlling the puck. Watch how it's bouncing and rolling, and just lift it a little bit, hoping to get it over top of that trailing pad of Reimer's, but just able to do so. But man, that is really a knack to control that bouncing, rolling puck, especially when you got to get like enough all over your back.
Well, the guys who frankly needed to get going offensively have been getting going in the last couple of games. Killorn getting on the board against Carolina. Callahan in front of the net. Filppula. And the supplementing the offensive work of the Johnson crew as the puck is played in. Clarkson moved out of there by Gudas. The other thing about had that been Hedman's goal, Chief, we were looking just before the game. The Lightning have had one goal from a defenseman in the last 10 games. That was Matt Carl in that late comeback in Washington.
Yeah, they haven't had a whole lot of goal production from that point position.
But we've seen much more activity from that group tonight.
Yes, they've been really getting up in the play quickly, and that's something that's really got them off to a good start. They played much more like the October-November team that we saw, Rick, rather than the December team that was struggling to score and struggling to come up with consecutive wins.
They were such a first-strike team those early weeks, and they really haven't been a first-strike team much of December, but they're rallying here, trying to end 2014 on home ice at least with a win, and would ensure them a winning record in a month where they were underwater for much of the time. Lightning have had 13 shots from their defense out of 34. Schuster getting it out of Hedman. Pass hit Lupul. Schuster picks it up. Brings it in. Winding. Firing. And it skims off the blocker of Reimer. Schuster follows up. Callahan with him. Killorn out of the corner. Bozak lets him go. Callahan going to lose Jake Gardner. Bozak helping out defensively. Killorn takes it. Trying to set up Filppula with a shot, or the pass, I should say, was deflected, and out come the Leafs. Kessel fires across. Riley after it. He couldn't center. It was blocked. Kessel couldn't center as he was stopped by Carl. Now it's taken away. Bozak in front. Shooting save by Bishop. Riley has it with the wrist shot. And Bishop a stop there. And behind Lupul. A frantic recovery here by Toronto offensively. Riley across to Polak. And Riley shooting blocked by Callahan. Riley got it back. He got bumped by Palat. Play kept alive. Kessel with it. Trailed now by Carl. Pass intercepted by Callahan. Palat on the rush. Steps in. Shoots. Saved by Reimer. Polak handles him to the corner. Bozak came looking for the hit. Riley ahead to Lupul. Gudas pinching in. And Barberio has it back of the Lightning line. Leafs changing. Gudas driving one. Saved by Reimer. Dion Phaneuf backhands it ahead. Pass deflected. Lightning have had the sticks in the passing lanes all night. Kucherov in that zone. Two Leafs got the puck free. Kadri couldn't control it. Gudas has it, shoots, and it's handled by Reimer. He gets a whistle. 12:32 to go in the third period. Well, the action continues at both ends. We're tied at 2.
Leafs Bolts all tied up at 2 to bring you back into the third period. As we aired in our pregame show, we told you some of the players spent a little time after morning skate reflecting on their favorite moments of 2014. Coach Coop said his was making the playoffs, which takes us to tonight's Twitter poll. We want to know, what was your favorite Lightning moment this past year? Hashtag TBL1 for Bishop, the Vezina finalist. Hashtag TBL2, Johnson and Palat. Hashtag TBL3 for making the playoffs. Hashtag TBL4 for the off-season additions. And hashtag TBL5 for other. We have a great other at Third Gen Glenn. Went with Stamkos. His return from breaking his right shin back in March. Introduced as the captain that game as well. What a beautiful moment that was, Ricky.
Thanks, Kelly, as the Lightning look at perhaps another great moment for 2014 here. They were down 2-0. They've come back to tie at 2. We're tied here in the third. Stamkos shoots and he skims it wide. Barberio digs in there. Got it free. Leafs, well, they love to just go on the attack. Couldn't get it done there as Drouin controlling the puck. He'll lug it in. Sprints behind the net. Barberio with a shot. It's deflected by Paquette, and it lands in Reimer's glove. Bright House Flex plans allow you to pick any games and any combination you want. This is the most flexible ticket plan available. Call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com.
Some familiar faces there, enjoying seats on the glass. Right now, you take a look. This Leaf Club played last night, and you take a look at the ice time. Surprisingly, the guy that has the most ice time coming into this third period is the man taking the face-off right now, Tyler Bozak. 15:33 to 15:29 for Dion Phaneuf.
Gives you an indication of how valuable he is and underrated, playing in every situation. Carl. That was Filppula backing up the play, and Kessel right with him, and Filppula knew he had to turn offense into defense there and make sure Kessel didn't get by him.
Give him a nice body check as well.
Talked about the shots by the defenseman. They got 15 now, and the one defenseman who doesn't have a shot is Victor Hedman, who's assisted on both goals. His shots were redirected. Here's Callahan. Checked by Bozak, chipped ahead by Phaneuf, fielded by Strawman. Good play to Killorn, walks in, cuts inside on France and just couldn't complete the move, and Reimer covers. The chance of a lifetime. Yesterday and tomorrow sit side by side. The Daytona 500 this February 22nd. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com.
Yeah, they had a really good spurt at the start of the period, but I'm sure that if you keep playing that hard offense and that hard forecheck, you're going to tire them out a little more. Again, they played last night. A lot of part of this period could really be a telling time for the Lightning.
Boyle wins the faceoff. Barberio with it. His try is tipped behind the net. Conley after it. Shelding it back to Gudas with the shot. Holland got a stick on it. Boyle takes a turn. Back to Gudas shooting, and it's fended off by Reimer. Conley after it. Morrow checked along the boards by Riley. Conley hustling to his skates. Couldn't make a play. Booth is in trouble in there. Riley stands by his side to carry on for the Leafs. Riley flips it out of the Leaf zone, and Barberio has it. Because of the Lightning heavy forecheck, that's been their play. Here's Boyle shooting, and Reimer will be forced to take another whistle. Tonight's broadcast code of the game is NET. Simply visit LightningFanRewards.com and enter tonight's code in the Game Day Challenge. Win tickets or earn points through trivia, polls, predictions, and more. It's all on LightningFanRewards.com. Log on now.
I think that was the key word for the Lightning's game plan. Go to the net. They've been in and around that net at least for the last 50, just about 50 minutes. We've got 10:28 left in regulation.
Lightning are winning faceoffs with regularity also. Palat in there. Schuster holding his ground. Puck gets away. And the Lightning will regroup. 40-18 the shots. Hedman is center. He'll just continue on in there. Kadri holding him off. Puck comes in front. Control. Kucherov shoots, and he just fires it wide. Well, he gets in that spot, and you just expect he's going to find a corner. He didn't miss by much. Gardner fires it ahead. Knocked down by Schuster. Got it away. Kucherov chased away from the puck by Holzer, who's played solidly in the Leaf defense. Here comes Santorelli, room to roam through center. Bishop out to handle the puck. Matt Carl back the other way with Stamkos. Endures a hack from Booth. Cuts in wide. His shot snuffed out by Phaneuf. Leafs now on the flow with Clarkson. Pass broken up, though. Nice play by Carl. Holland had it pried free by Paquette. Ahead for Steven Stamkos. 3 Leafs there to meet him. Carl joins him. Bumped off by Franzen, among the leaders in hits in the NHL. Strawman waiting to get it back. Shooting, and it's tipped wide by Carl. Carl from the point. Chops it. They score! Stamkos in front. Deflects it home. The Lightning have come back to lead.
What a play by Matt Carl. Led the rush, as you pointed out, Rick. He was in front of the net to deflect the chance. Then got back to the point to keep the play in, taking the shot, and there's that deflection by Stamkos. Nice little bunt down the first baseline in the net for the tie, or for the lead goal right now, but tremendous play by Matt Carl in that whole situation. Stamkos picks up number 20 on the year to give the Lightning the lead here at 11:05.
Well, if you've seen Inside the Lightning, Steven Stamkos, you learned about his abilities to play all different sports as a youngster. Baseball, one of the major ones, and we saw his skills in action there. Callahan right back to apply some pressure. Out comes Bozak. Pass knocked down by Schuster. Lupul trying to get to it. And we've got a penalty upcoming for a holding the stick call against the Lightning. And Alex Killorn trudges off. Lightning have the lead. They'll have to kill a penalty when we come back.
Lightning up by 1. It's time now to take a look at our diamond performance of the night, presented by Ackerman Jewelers, and it's Ryan Callahan. He's picked up a goal and assist, 4 shots. He's blocked a couple, as he always does, but he's just in and around that action constantly. One of the main reasons why the Lightning have kept that play inside the Toronto zone for such lengths of time. He's just been a tremendous game tonight, an inspiration. And that's our diamond performance, brought to you by Ackerman Jewelers.
Toyota power play opportunity for Toronto as Killorn gets a holding the stick penalty. Leafs into action here as it's Phaneuf and Franzen at the points, around to Kessel. Bozak turns, fires, and it's gloved by Bishop. Van Riemsdyk parked in front where he so often is on these power plays.
He's very effective there as well. He's a big body. He really is able to hold his ground there. Plus, he has some pretty nice hands, too, to be able to deflect shots or even pick up rebounds.
Leafs had 2 shots on their first power play, which was the first one of the game midway through the first period. Then they went 19 and a half minutes without a shot on goal in any situation. Kessel feeding it now to Bozak. Pulls out. They'll give him the shot. Bishop kicked out the leg. Puck played away. Johnson fires it off the glass. Under 8 minutes to go here in the third period. Lightning won their first 2 games on this homestand and 1-goal decisions. They're up 3-2 here, looking to sweep the homestand, and they'll have done so in front of sellout crowds. And each night, 19,204, the attendance again tonight. Here's Phaneuf shooting, look for a tip, fired it wide. Boyle got it ahead for Paquette, and he'll hand it back to Boyle. He's still got a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Here's Boyle on the back end to Paquette, broken up by Phaneuf. 50 seconds on the penalty. Van Riemsdyk cruising into the zone. It reaches Franzen. Franzen fires now to Kessel. He'll walk it in. He'll fire. Blocked by Schuster. Schuster taps it away. Nazem Kadri going to get loose. Back for Phil Kessel. Cody Franzen fires in front. It's off a stick and wide. He was looking for the tip there with Van Riemsdyk and Kadri both on hand. Schuster hit Boyle in the back, but is clear. So the Lightning do get it out. 12 seconds to go in the penalty. Morgan Rielly racing in. Feeding it off Clarkson's stick. Puck is left. Palat finds it. And he leaves it back down the ice. Here comes Killorn. He steps out. Lightning have killed the penalty, protecting a 3-2 lead with 6:30 to go. Gardner lugs that puck all the way in. Feeds it in front. Pearl just took out his man and got a piece of that pass as he dumped Clarkson. Riley has it, shoots, and it's wide of the net. Killorn hands it off to Carl. He got the only assist on the Stamkos goal. Here's Johnson. Fires across. Riley right there. Tapped to center by Clarkson. Gudas lobbing that puck. Torelli kept it away from the on-charging Drouin. And it's back in. Bishop around for Gudas. Puts it out of his zone. All right, Ashton trying to play it back in. He got crunched there by Paquette. Lead pass for Stamkos, stationed at the line. Polak getting to it, leaving it for Holzer.
Now's the time not to sit back. The Lightning, a lot of time left, 5.5 minutes. Keep the pressure on like they've done all game long.
Barberio trailed in there by the defenseman Corbinian Holzer. Holland, pass played away. And here's Conley back to center. He's got Ashton hanging on his shoulder as he dumps it in. Jake Gardner, outstanding skater. We saw him in that last rush. Starts things ahead to Polak. Pass and escapes. Lightning pounce. Conley got it loose. Hedman has it. His pass was snuffed out by Winnick. Stralman right there to pick it up. It's got it in by Brendan Morrow. Morgan Riley starts it ahead. Morrow keeps an eye on him. There's the pass at the line for Trevor Smith. Forced off the play by Schuster. Callahan wins the puck. Away comes Filppula. Booth got in the way. And Filppula battles to get that puck back in the hands of the Lightning. A penalty upcoming here against Booth. I think he got the high stick on Filppula. And the Lightning with a delayed penalty. 6 skaters on. Have a 3-2 lead and will shortly have a power play chance when the Leafs control. And here comes Stamkos. Maybe they won't have to control it. Keeps the play alive to Schuster. And Kucherov caught a skate in a rut, and down he went. Penalty called against the Leafs. Filppula being checked out. Booth to the box. Lightning in front. Tampa Bay Area BMW Centers want to remind you to tune in Wednesday night. The Lightning finished 2014 with a game in Buffalo against the Sabres. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. with Lightning Live pregame. The game at 6. That's the Bolts and Sabres Wednesday night right here on Sun Sports.
Well, this could really help the Lightning here if you pick up your second power play goal on the 4th opportunity. 4:01 remains.
Holland chops it back behind the net. Polak getting to it. He'll rifle it off the glass. Back to center. Stamkos, Hedman, Filppula, Killorn and Callahan. Quintet on. Hedman rifles that pass by Callahan. He's saying he touched it. Andy McElman looking for help.
Yeah, they're saying they did, and the faceoff will come to center ice.
Derek Amell indicated that it was touched. Tampa Waterfront 2020 is America's first crowdsourced neighborhood. We want to hear from you. Visit TampaWaterfront2020.com and let us know what you want to see in your new waterfront community. Good teamwork by the linesman. On the faceoff, Killorn bursting into the zone, trying to make a play. Callahan gets it back. Boy, Killorn had that path to the net if he chose to hang on to it.
They got to get a little more selfish.
Callahan trying to hook it out in front, could not. Yeah, this is a good test for that, Chief, because they have a tendency to do that when they get ahead.
Yep.
Stamkos in the circle. Filppula feeding it back. Stamkos fires, and it's blocked. Roman Polak, the 236-pound defenseman, took that one. Filppula. Now to Callahan, trying to center for Killorn. That was tipped. Lightning working around, the crowd getting anxious. And now we have Reimer shaken up in the goal mouth. And the officials halt play. Tim Peel checking on him. 51 seconds remaining on the call against Booth.
Let's see what happened. Callahan going there. Here comes his play at the side. And
Killorn collided with him. And the Leaf trainer is out to check out Reimer. Christopher Gibson, a 22-year-old who is yet to play in the National Hockey League, is suited up as the backup, called up from the Toronto Marlies of the American League. There he is. A native of Finland. His dad born in England, his mom from Finland. Out of Chicoutimi in the Quebec League. And had played in Orlando last year with the Solar Bears. East Coast Hockey League, played 20 games down the road in Orlando.
Well, they must have thought pretty highly of him, L.A. They took him with the second pick in the draft back in 11.
Now, Reimer given sufficient time to recover. Gibson never looked concerned at all that he would have to come into this game.
Gives the penalty killers a little more breathing air room. Time to get their catch their breath.
Johnson and Holland on this face-off. McElman will hopefully get things going here. And the Johnson line controlling that face-off. Actually, Drouin out there with Palat on that lineup. As Kucherov took a point position. Here's Johnson feeding inside of the goal. Palat's try is poked away. Johnson getting it back. 33 in the penalty. Johnson shot snuffed out by Franson, and the Leafs clear it out. Strawman with 2:23 to go here in the third period. Lightning up 3-2. And still 18 seconds remaining on the David Booth high sticking call. Lightning win the puck, and Strawman has it. Over for Johnson. Feeding it now to Palat. Kucherov cuts back door. The pass through Drouin. I think he thought that was going to Kucherov. Instead, it's Peter Holland the other way. Nice play by Strawman. Got the puck away as the penalty's over to Booth. Leafs at full strength. Kucherov cuts to the middle. Held up there. Leafs played ahead. Nazem Kadri putting a move on Killorn. Who ends up with a puck and dumps it back to center. Schuster pokes it ahead. Kadri takes it. Carl immediately mans up there with Van Riemsdyk, but it's Kadri shooting, and Bishop reached out with a right arm to get a piece of that. Santorelli leaving it for Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk fires in front now with Reimer going to the bench for the extra skater. 1:16 to go. Leafs down a goal. Empty net behind him. 6 skaters on. Carl denies Kadri. Riley down the boards. Killorn settles it down, getting it off the boards to center. 1 minute remaining in regulation. Gardner held up. Stamkos at center. Got it free. Paquette will tap it in deep. Kessel looking to wind it up. Kadri feeding it now to Santorelli. Bishop out to play the puck. Plays it up the boards for Paquette. It ends up with Hedman. Chipping it ahead. Stamkos gets that red line. Fires. Enough to deflect to the puck. And it ends up wide. Boyle. 32 seconds to go. Paquette back down the boards. Gardner takes it for the Leafs. Chased by Stamkos. Nice spin around the move. Gets away. Starts it in. Strawman right there with Kessel. Blocked the pass. Van Riemsdyk throws it in the goal mouth. Hedman blocks it. Kadri around. Enough now at 10 seconds. Feeding it across to Kessel. Goes up with a shot. Saved by Bishop. Rebound in front. It's loose. Played away by Cedric Paquette. And that'll do it. Lightning trailed 2-0 on the first 2 Leaf shots of the game. And they roar back with 2 goals in the second period by Callahan and Filppula. Stamkos hits the 20-goal mark with the winning goal at 11:05 of the third. We've got more in a moment.